Hey everybody, still Guts in Tennessee. Glad y'all are back. Got a battle in my LTTB, Tier 8 Russian Light. All 8 battle, 2 lights on each team. Here at Westfield. I'm moving up. Put it back to what I was looking at. There we go. I usually come over here. I don't like going over there typically because it's a risk it for the biscuit kind of move. If you get outnumbered over there, your game ends early and you don't get a good game. If you outnumber the enemy, sometimes you get over there, you get a lot of damage, get up in the bushes, get a lot of spotting. It turns into a really good game. But this spot here consistently for me gives me a lot more options. So I come over here. So we'll just let this roll in the background. Y'all can watch what's happening and stuff. I'm just going to get lots of shots across the ridge here. Spot some people over here that play dumb. But I'm going to talk about good games. Somebody asked me a question in one of the comments. Never been asked this before. It was a good question. What do I consider a good game? And let me preface all of this by saying everybody has their own expectations, how they play. What I consider a good game, somebody else may consider is an exceptional game, and somebody else may say, it's just I didn't suck kind of game. It was a mug game or whatever. So, but I'm going to talk about me, okay? And also, there's 2 different metrics here. There's WN8 and there's World of Tanks ratings, okay? And I'm not particularly fixated on WN8. I'm playing light tanks a lot. So for light tanks, getting marks on the barrel, things like that, all that's combined damage. Your spotting comes into play there. For WN8, your spotting, assisted damage, none of that matters for WN8. It's all your damage. So for me, playing a light tank, what I like to do, if at the end of the game happens, like I'm in the LTTB here, so I have 1,050 hit points. If my combined damage is double that, I consider that a good game. Not necessarily a great game, but it's a good game. Because like the 1375, I 3-marked that tank. It has 850 hit points, so double that's 1,700. To 3-mark that tank was 1,800. So just slightly above your hit points doubled in the 1375. If you played every game and did 1,800 combined damage, you would 3-mark that tank. And that's definitely good games. Great games, probably, I guess, to 3-mark. So that's kind of the metrics. I'd never been asked this question before, and I always kind of did it based on the end of the game comes. You look, is it a second class, third class, first class, ace? That's kind of the metrics of it. But as you kind of play more of a particular tank, you kind of get in the groove of what it takes to get those kinds of ratings and stuff. So, and to me, I've kind of noticed that, like I said, in a light tank, it's the whole combined damage thing. And to me, if I double my hit points, that's a GG. It may not be a great game. Depends on the tank. Every tank's different. Because all these things are based on the people that are playing that tank. And like reward tanks, things like that. Better players have those tanks, and they play them. So, naturally, all those values are going to be higher. So just doubling up isn't going to be a good game. You maybe get a third class in it or something. But every tank's a little different. So, take all this with a grain of salt. This is just a rule of thumb kind of thing that I can kind of consider. So, like I said, light tanks, it's double my HP of combined damage. Now, playing mediums and heavies is a little different. Heavies are damage dealers, although I don't play many heavy tanks. But from what I can see and remember from when I played them and stuff, because they are damage dealers, just doing your hit points and damage isn't that great of a game. Because they're damage dealers. So you need to get way above your hit points to have a GG. At least for me, I would think so. If I have 1,000 hit points, I would think I need to do at least 1,500 damage maybe. So, but I don't play a lot of heavies, so I'm not going to talk a lot about them because I'm no expert at playing heavies. Now, I did play a lot of mediums. And for me, what I noticed was WN8 wise and stuff, if you do more than your hit points, you're a 2,000 WN8 or higher, pretty basically. And like I said, every tank's a little different. So when I'm playing medium tanks, I strive for my damage to be higher than my hit points. So, if I'm playing like a T54 tier 9, I think it's like 1300 hit points or something. My goal is to get 1500 damage or higher, and I feel like I've had a good game. Now, obviously, for the World of Tanks ratings and stuff, if I've gotten assisted damage, I've gotten spotting, tracked people, or whatever, that's just gravy on top of that, and that kind of adds to it all and everything. So, and like I said, everybody's view is different. What I consider as a good game for me, some really good player may consider, well, that's just an average game for them. They need to step it up and do better than that. And some people that aren't very good, I may have a game that, at the end of the game, I look at the end results and I go, well, I didn't suck, so, it was an okay game. And for them, that may have been a great game. If they had that game, I see Skill all the time. Skill will have a game where he does great. And I'm like, man, that's a great game. And Skill's like, ah, man, I missed out on a lot. I should have done this and I should have had more here and stuff. So, like I said, everybody has their own expectations, and I'm just explaining mine. So, leave a comment down there and ask me or something. Give me what you think your expectations are, what you consider as a GG, and kind of open this discussion up. So, like I said, we kind of just let this game roll in the background. I didn't do anything special here. My team capped, so victory. So, like I said, nothing special here. That's why I just kind of decided to talk about this during this game, because like y'all saw, I just went over here, shot the people that they lit up. I farmed people from over here. Got a few spots here, and as we just swept through this team, I just pushed in. Ate that bat chat alive down there. That was really nice. And then came up and got some damage up here. So, there's nothing special for me to talk about here. But I kind of wanted to talk about the GG thing because I don't remember who put that comment in, but I really appreciated that. That was a well thought out question. I've never been asked that before, and I just thought it'd be a good time to talk about that. So, I've got the end results for this. Let's throw this up here, and somewhere right there. There we go. So that's a first class. So obviously for me, a first class is a really good game, and it's the top 5% if I'm not mistaken. And this tank on this map in the last 2 weeks, you did better than 95% of the other people playing this tank. So in the top 5%, definitely a GG. Really good game. For me, a second class is a GG. If I get a second class, I had a good game. It's like 80%, if I'm not mistaken. So you're in the top 20%. And for me, that's my expectations. If I'm in the top 20% of the player base, for my skill level and stuff, that's where I want to be, the top 20%. So, and a third class to me is a I didn't suck game. At least I didn't suck bad. I did okay. Wasn't a great game. Wasn't a bad game. And if I don't even get a third class, that's not a very good game for me. So, yeah, I was top on damage, top on kills, top on XP. Bottom, it's an all tier 8 battle, but I'm a light tank, so really good game for me here. So made money. It's almost 3,700 combined. Yeah, pretty close to it. Almost 3,700 combined. At 1,000 hit points, so I tripled my hit points. So, but anyway, let me know what you think about that. And obviously on this one, I did 2,700 damage of my own. That's just really for WN8. This was a really good game too. I don't know what it was, but like I said, for light tanks, I do the whole combined thing. If it was opposite, I would still think I had a good game. I did almost my hit points and damage, 982, and had 2,700 spotting. I'd just be ecstatic of a great game I had. So anyway, like I said, leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And as always, I try to answer any questions. If y'all just leave a good game, appreciate the video or whatever. There's a lot of comments, and I just cannot answer everyone. I give you the hearts, though, to let you know I read your comment, and I appreciate it. And if you ask a question, I almost always answer your question in the comments. So, but anyway, as always, everybody have fun. Keep tanking.